Yes, the Vz.24. A bolt-action rifle so Czechoslovakian it probably came with a free pint of Pilsner and a government-issued mustache.
One of us is dead!
Hey guys, the Grenadier Gamer here. Welcome to a brand new series where we break down the weapons and vehicles in Enlisted and see what makes them tick. Today we're taking a look at a rifle that's very much like your ex. Rugged, reliable, and absolutely devastating if you're on the wrong end of it. The Vz.24, or Vz.24 for short. Forgive my pronunciation. Now, at first glance, you might think this is just another bolt-action rifle. And you would be half right. But the devil, as they say, is in the details. And this little devil is a Mauser. That's right. Under all the Czech wood and steel beats the heart of a German design. Essentially, the Vz.24 is a short Mauser 98K that got tired of fascism and decided to become a freelance murder stick instead. Now, before we dive into how it performs in-game, a quick bit of history for all you military hardware enthusiasts, or just those who enjoy a good tale about Czechoslovakia thumbing its nose at post-war Germany. You see, after World War I, the newly formed Czechoslovakia found itself with a thriving arms industry, mostly inherited from the old Austro-Hungarian Empire. And unlike most newly formed countries, they didn't immediately run out of money or try to reinvent the wheel. Instead, they looked at the German Gewehr 98 and thought, you know, this is actually pretty good. Let's make our own. Enter the Vz.24, a Czech-made, slightly shorter, slightly handier version of the German Mauser 98. Built starting in, you guessed it, 1924, by the fine folks at Brno Arms Works, who clearly knew their way around a bolt and some walnut. Featuring a straight bolt handle and chambered primarily in 7.92 by 57mm Mauser, with some export variants in 7 by 57mm and 7.65 by 53mm. It has a 590mm or 23.2-inch barrel with 4-groove right-hand twist rifling, and a total length of 1100mm or 43.3 inches, weighing in at 4.2 kilograms or 9.2 pounds. The rifle uses a flush-mounted 5-round internal magazine fed by stripper clips. Iron sights consist of a protected front blade and a tangent rear sight adjustable out to 2,000 meters. The stock features a semi-pistol grip, grasping grooves, sling swivels, and a handguard covering from the receiver to the front barrel band. A cleaning rod is stored beneath the barrel, and the Vz.24 was also issued with a knife-style bayonet, featuring a single-edged blade about 300mm or 11.8 inches long, with the oh-so-clever designation of Bayonet Vz.24. It was attached via a muzzle ring and locking lug system, and came with a blue steeled scabbard. The Vz.24 was so well made, it ended up being exported to dozens of countries. China, Iran, Romania, Bolivia. Around 40,000 rifles were delivered to Spanish Republican forces alone during the Spanish Civil War. And then, of course, the Germans invaded in 1938. And what did they do? They stole the rifle, slapped a Waffenamt stamp on it, and handed it out to the Wehrmacht like free sausages at Oktoberfest. The rifle was redesignated Gewehr 24T. The T stands for Czechoslovakia, the German name for Czechoslovakia, in case you were wondering. The Germans pressed the captured rifles into service. However, all rifles made after the occupation were modified to adhere to German service standards, including changes to the buttstock, slots added to fit German rifle slings, and the installation of stock discs to allow soldiers to disassemble their bolts in the field. The Germans used the Vz.24 extensively until their own production of Kar 98Ks could catch up in 1942. As a result, the Vz.24 was most commonly issued to second-line, rear area, occupation, and training units, while Kar 98K rifles were prioritized for frontline formations. The rifle was also especially common within the Waffen-SS, which early in the war relied heavily on captured and foreign weapons due to supply contracts that heavily favored the regular army. So yeah, this rifle has been in the hands of everyone. Defenders, invaders, nationalists, communists, and probably one or two confused mercenaries. And here in Enlisted, it gets the job done. It delivers that warm, satisfying bolt-action experience where every shot feels like a punchline delivered straight to the enemy's chest. Let's take a peek at the stats. The Vz.24 deals a solid 27.3 damage at 10 meters and 22.3 at 100 meters, which is noticeably higher than most other German bolt actions at this tier. But what does that number actually mean? Enlisted doesn't just use a simple health bar, even though it might look like it does. Soldiers technically have 10 HP, but damage is applied by body part, so a chest or a headshot still kills instantly, while hits to the limbs or lower torso usually just down the enemy instead of outright killing them. For comparison, most German long rifles at this level, like the Kar98K variants and the VG2, deal 25.4 damage at 10 meters and 19.8 at 100 meters. That's respectable, and may not sound like a huge difference on paper, but it makes the Vz.24 more reliable at scoring that one-shot kill, or at the very least, downing the target consistently. Accuracy is equally impressive. The game simulates real-world inaccuracy through shot deviation, so even if your sights are perfectly on target, movement, turning, or firing too quickly can make your bullets stray. The Vz.24 keeps deviation low at 8, matching both the pre-war and standard Kar98K, while the Gewehr 33-40 sits slightly higher at 10, and the VG2 is the outlier at 12. That's still remarkably good accuracy overall. Put simply, take your time, line up your shot, and someone on the other end gets a moment to reflect on their poor life choices. Of course, that damage and accuracy comes with a trade-off. The Vz.24's rate of fire is slightly below average for its peers, at 59 rounds per minute, compared to 62 for the VG2, Kar98K, and Gewehr 33-40, and a relatively high 69 for the pre-war Kar98K. Its 5-round internal magazine is standard, while the VG2 has a 10-round detachable mag. Interestingly though, the internal mag actually has a practical advantage. You can fire off that last round and reload a fresh clip faster than loading 4 individual rounds one by one. Reload speed sits in the middle at 3.2 seconds, making it neither a strong advantage nor a drawback. For comparison, the Gewehr 33-40 reloads in 3.1 seconds, the pre-war Kar98K in 3 seconds, while the VG2 and standard Kar98K are slower at 3.3 and 3.4 seconds respectively. Because the magazine holds only 5 rounds, shot placement becomes far more important than reload speed. Muzzle velocity is mostly irrelevant here, as most German long rifles share the standard 750 meters per second. The outlier is the Gewehr 33-40, which is slightly slower at 720 meters per second due to its shorter barrel. Recoil does affect the Vz.24, but in practice, it doesn't really matter because with a bolt-action rifle, you're reacquiring your sight picture after every shot anyway, so recoil rarely impacts follow-up shots or overall effectiveness in engagements. So, the Vz.24 looks great on paper, but stats only matter in context. Let's compare it to the rifles you'll be going up against on the battlefield. The Vz.24 is tied for top damage among the opposing rifles, with the Mauser M91-30 also dealing 27.3 damage at 10 meters and 22.3 at 100 meters. The Springfield M1903 and both Lee Enfields sit slightly lower at 25.4 damage at 10 meters and 20.9 at 100 meters. That damage gap may not look huge on paper, but it still translates into a more reliable first shot kill, or at the very least, a consistent down. When it comes to shot deviation, the Vz.24 is extremely consistent, with a low value of 8, putting it on par with the Mauser M91-30 and the Lee Enfield No. 4 Mark I. The Springfield M1903 sits just behind at 9, while the SMLE Mark III comes in at 10. That makes for a tighter competition in accuracy than damage or reload stats. If you line up your shots, the Vz.24 is right at the top of the pack. Compared to allied rifle options of this tier, the Vz.24 is slightly below average in terms of rate of fire, tied with the Springfield M1903 at 59 rounds per minute. The Mauser M91-30 is the slowest with 57 rounds per minute, while the SMLE Mark III comes in at 63 rounds per minute, and the Lee Enfield No. 4 Mark I is the fastest at 69 rounds per minute. Because of that, missed shots are much more punishing with the Vz.24 than with most allied rifles. Patience definitely matters here. Take the extra moment to line up your shots and make each one count. Panic means punishment. Reload speed is where the Vz.24 becomes more punishing. but mainly when compared to the Commonwealth rifles. The Vz.24 loads in 3.2 seconds, while the Springfield M1903 is slower at 3.5 seconds, and the Mosin M91-30 sits close at 3.4 seconds. The Enfields take noticeably longer to reload, with the SMLE Mark III at 4 seconds and the Enfield No. 4 Mark I at 3.8 seconds. However, that longer reload comes with a catch. Both British rifles carry 10 rounds instead of 5 and also fire faster, making missed shots and follow-ups far more forgiving. By contrast, the Vz.24's 5-round internal magazine and slower rate of fire mean you'll have to be reloading more often, so patience and accuracy matter far more than raw speed. Recoil and muzzle velocity are once again minor factors here. Recoil does exist, but with bolt-action rifles, you're re-aiming after every shot anyway, so it won't affect follow-ups. Muzzle velocity also doesn't shift things much in practice. The Vz.24 and both Enfields sit at the same velocity, while the Mosin is slightly faster at 815 meters a second, and the Springfield is the fastest at 830 meters per second. In real gameplay, those velocity differences are rarely noticeable. Positioning, patience, and shot placement still matter far more than raw numbers. In practice, the Vz.24 is exactly what you would expect from a hard-hitting bolt action. It's a mid to long-range rifle through and through. You can try to clear buildings with it, but unless you've got nerves of steel and a weird emotional attachment to your bayonet, that's probably not where it shines. Where it really comes alive is out in the open. Long sight lines, trenches, windows, rooftops. Anywhere you can slow things down, line up a shot, and let the rifle do what it does best. Play it patiently, and it feels incredibly consistent. This is a rifle that rewards positioning and discipline more than speed. Miss a shot and you'll feel it, especially compared with faster cycling rifles or bigger magazines. But if you prefer raw damage, consistency, and making every shot count, the Vz.24 starts to make a lot of sense. So with all that in mind, let's jump into a full match and see how it actually performs in real gameplay. Alright, we're going against the Soviets, so we'll have equal damage against the Mosins, but we'll have a slightly quicker reload and rate of fire. So first things first, let's take out an APC and get a spawn point up. Alright, so we're defending. This is an excellent time to mention that I am by no means a professional at this game or this weapon, so take everything that happens with a grain of salt. But my initial plan here is to post up on the left side of the rail tracks and set up a crossfire to prevent them from getting into our capture point. So I'm going to start with the APC squad, and then after this I'll probably get up a rally point. But right now you can see I'm just posting my squad up, setting up that crossfire, picking off people as they try to run across to the capture point. And we're getting a lot of traffic over here, which is good. You can see I'm going to try and advance now to keep them under pressure. See if they have any rallies over here. And oh, we've got some takers. And I can definitely hear a rally. Put that AP mine down quick. Oh! We got the mine down. We killed some infantry, but I did not see a strategic construction destroyed notification, so I'm not sure if we got the rally or not. Okay, we'll go to next squad, and then we'll put up a rally point. So far our strategy is working. Most of our team is on the point itself, which is why this strategy is working. If our team was not doing such a good job with point defense, this strategy would not work that well. But surprisingly, we have a dependable team. Gonna put our rally point up. And as you just saw, I called in some speculative arty over where that rally point was. And we've got a decent amount of damage caused by the arty strike. Now we're going to push back up over by those houses where that rally was. Got to keep the pressure on them so they can't get to the capture point. Oh, and we've got some bush Wookiees over here. Let's take care of those. Okay, that thread is cleared. Let's put a mine down there to discourage that nonsense again. Got some people coming from the back. Oh. Taking a lot of fire. That guy's actually... Okay, let's get a fresh squad and continue that push. You can see here I'm missing a lot of shots. I'm not taking that extra second to line them up like I should. And I'm definitely paying the price for it. You can see I've missed essentially a whole magazine because I'm rushing my shots. I hear an SMG. Let's just take care of that quickly. Clean up the rest of the squad. That AP mine went off. I assume that guy died, but apparently he did not. He's assuming the bush Wookiee position again. More squads incoming. Tom Nady. And we get the kill. Actually, 3 kills with the Tom Nady. Let's go. No, sorry, 2 kills. Just keep that crossfire up. Don't let them get across to the cap. Our team seems to be doing a good job holding the right flank. Let's hope they continue to do that. Spotted a T-60 in the back lines. Ooh. I think we have attracted the fire of said T-60. Actually, from the look of the kill feed, it appears that there are 2 T60s. Which could be trouble. Here I'm rushing these shots. I get a little impatient. And I decide, screw it. I'll just pull out the SMG. Then I realize, oh, this is a Vz.24 video. Let me go back to the rifle. Just have to aim your shots. Take your time, even if you're under fire. Long distance engagements are your best friend with this rifle. I'm gonna try and spawn with my AT gunner, see if I can take out one of those T60s. I think one is in the far back right flank, and then one's on the rail tracks. Hit. Driver, take it out. Gunner damaged. And the second shot seals the deal. One more T60 to worry about. Keep pushing up this flank, keep up that pressure, do not let them get a foothold on the objective. And whoa! Close range SMG, not an ideal engagement for the Vz.24. Clear these guys out. They love to sit in these bushes, I'm telling you. Get my guys upstairs so they have some sort of cover and can fire back. Spoil this little flanking maneuver. Oh. Where is this other guy? Put a mine down so they can't come in. And then I see that guy coming through the door and suddenly decide not to use my brain, charge with a bayonet, get myself killed with the AP mine. Sometimes it just happens. More artillery and keep up that pressure. See if I can build a little fortified position for my guys here so they can shoot at the enemy squads as they try to come through the bushes. See if that's an effective strategy or not. Artillery doesn't really do much other than make noise. We are taking enemy fire though. Build a little ammo crate up here for myself. And continue to put pressure on this flank. That's not good. We have enemies on the point. We've been doing well so far, but you really don't want to give the enemy team any opportunity to push further than they can. This is Enlisted after all. Your team could be absolute beasts on one defense point, and then as soon as you lose that point, they become absolutely useless and just get steamrolled the rest of the game. So we definitely do not want to lose this first point. The game is going our way. We want to keep it that way. Charge upstairs, see if anyone's there. There's not. It appears that all the enemies that were on the cap or are coming into the cap are back behind this log pile on the far right flank. And in the bushes, as they've shown us, is their favorite position in this match. Okay, quickly get a fresh squad and run back over to the point. Make sure it's secured before we continue our crossfire on the left side of the tracks.
brauchen einen Sammelpunkt.
Okay. Point seems to be stabilized so far. I think we can continue with our crossfire operation. Rally point destroyed. That's not good. It's probably Russians flanking around this far side. Yep. Deal with them quickly.
Kopfschuss. Haha.
Get a fresh rally up. Replace the one that they take. Always build rallies, folks. Rallies are your friend. That's how you win games. Come back over to the point. Make sure they do not take this area. Do not want to be pushed back. We're doing so well right now.
Du bist der
Throw a grenade upstairs. And then I think the point is secured now, so we can go back to our crossfire operation. Although, at this point, we're pushing up the rail track itself.
Ich hab einen.
Soviets have overtaken my building, it appears. Let's rectify that situation with some cold steel.
Angriff!
Peekaboo. Put a mine up here just for insurance. And go back to what we do best. Mid to long range engagements. With accurate, deadly fire.
Heilige Scheiße, er hat sich Zeit gelassen.
Just flagging positions, letting my team know where the enemy concentrations are.
Ihn zu töten.
Never hurts. Especially if you have close air support, which I don't believe we do, but it's always good to ping areas of concern for your allies.
Niemand will unbedingt tot sein.
Gotta stop this cross rush. They seem to be picking up steam.
Lasst uns beiden leichter und...
Gotta stop rushing those shots.
Ich war Goodley. Pass auf, wo du stehst.
Der Feind will den Kontrollpunkt stürmen.
Get back on the point, quick. Do not let these filthy Russians take this point.
Stirb! Wah!
Der Feind nimmt den Kontrollpunkt ein.
Ooh, go get him, get him.
Mann, bleib einfach unten!
Remember folks, switching to your pistol is faster than reloading.
Verteidigen!
Alright. We have a majority on the point, but we still need to clear out the remnants. We good?
Lass sie nicht vorrücken!
Alright, we have them on the ropes. They're about to lose. Just keep pushing them off the point. Out of those bushes. Your tank. Get rid of this squad. Oh, my AT gunner's been killed. Try to spot the tank there. Oh my god, they have a rally this close to the point? Get rid of that nonsense. You know, I don't actually need an AT gunner in order to take care of that T-60. I have an engineer in an engineer squad. Do you know what I'm thinking? Come on. Just missed. Come on. Game's about to end. Push, Hans, push. Switch positions, aim. Take that, Ivan. And victory.
Verteidigung hat im Angriff standgehalten. Sieg!
All right, let's see how we did. All right, 150 kills, 6 squad deaths. I'd say that's a pretty decent game. GG's to everybody involved. So, that was the Vz.24. The Vz.24 doesn't try to be everything. It does what it's designed to do, and it does it well. Mid to long range engagements, careful shots, and disciplined play are where it shines. Use it the way it was intended, and you'll see consistent results. It rewards players who value raw damage, tight accuracy, and making every round count over high rates of fire or big magazine sizes. If that matches your playstyle, the Vz.24 is a solid fit. If not, you might find rifles with faster follow-ups or larger mags more forgiving. Either way, the Vz.24 is reliable, consistent, and satisfying when played on its own terms. That's it for today's weapon review. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more Enlisted content. But for now, stay sharp out there, and I'll see you on the battlefield.